trying not to destroy myself either, you know? Like, certainly I could go harder, but it's, you know, still got another week of training, still got a whole season ahead. But otherwise, that's probably one of the hardest and craziest workouts I've done in a long time. Today we have getting back in, it's 2 weeks out from the race. 2 weeks from tomorrow is Mont Tremblant 70.3. So we're getting back into the race pace style sessions, 2 of them. That's what we've been doing before 70.3s. And this one's the biggest one that I've done yet. And then if you compound that with the reduced oxygen, it should be the hardest one yet overall. So on the bike, it's a 3-hour ride with 1 hour. This time, not supposed to be like LT1, it's supposed to be above it. So like above Ironman pace, but not 70.3 pace. And then that's 1 hour, and then 45 minutes approaching 70.3 pace towards the end. And then 30 minutes at 70.3 pace. So that's 2 hours and 15 minutes between Ironman and up to 70.3 pace. Short little recovery. We're not going to do it as a straight brick. It's like a soft brick, we'll call it. So like an hour recovery just to have a quick bite to eat, hydrate a little bit, and then we'll head to the gym and we'll do my biggest run workout of the year thus far, which will be 6 times 3K on the treadmill. Once again, same structure. First couple will be above Ironman pace, but not 70.3 pace. Then getting close to 70.3 pace, and then the final perhaps 2 or 3 will be at 70.3 pace or even a little bit above. So that's the workout. It's 4.5 hours total. And you have to make sure that your power meter is reading properly, or at least you understand where your power meter, where the number on the meter gets you in a race. And that can be a big problem with the indoor riding without any feedback, right? You're sitting here thinking, oh, I'm pushing 320 watts. And then you go in a race, you push 320 watts, you get outrode by 6 minutes. That's a big problem. These numbers need to mean something. So you need to have some way to calibrate the meter such that the numbers, when you know with certainty that when you're pushing fill in the blank, it's going to get you this. So now I know, now I have this calibrated, and I always, like I already said, dual record. But now I have the two calibrated, this kicker and the pedals calibrated, such that I know that 320 on this thing is going to get you at least riding even or close to even with the front of a 70.3. Obviously, this is a fair 70.3, no motor pacing or anything. And 280 to 285 gets you riding even with the front of an Ironman. Once again, a fair Ironman, no motor pacing. So now I have that set point, and now I know when I'm pushing, whatever I'm pushing, where I go in a race, barring no motor pacing. It's hard to wrap my head around having to do a run workout now.
All right, you finished it.
Yeah, it was hard, like really hard. It wasn't like muscularly hard, but it was like energetically really hard. So executed as prescribed, 1 hour above Ironman pace, but not 70.3 yet. That was 280 average at 1.9 millimole, 10 minutes easy, and then 45 minutes, a bit higher. That one was 295 average, 1.6 millimole, and then 8 minutes easy. 30 minutes now, probably around 70.3 race pace, even maybe a little higher. That was 313 average, 1.7. Is that right? Yeah, 1.7 millimole. Now just cooling down for a few minutes to make it 3 hours. The 2 meters are reading the kicker 270, 275, and the Asioma's 276. So it just dropped 1 watt, so this will drop soon too. They're pretty well bang on, which is good. Can have confidence in the data. So now just a little quick bite to eat, and then we'll head to the gym for an equally, if not harder, run workout. Workout is 6 times 3K, which is like 1.88 miles, something like that. And starting very similar to the bike workout, first third should be in and around, you know, a little over Ironman pace. And then the next third should be like approaching 70.3 race pace, and then the final third should be 70.3 race pace, and even the last one maybe LT2, like anaerobic threshold type pace. But I mean, I'm going to be pretty tired by then, so we'll see. I don't know if that's going to be feasible. I don't want to. It's easy to. I think it's easy to overdo it at altitude. I think it's pretty easy to do it, and then suddenly you have a setback, you know, whether that be an injury, an illness, or large amount of fatigue. So knowing that, I'm trying to get in the habit of not making those mistakes and being more conservative in my approach. Now, I don't know how you could ever call a giant bike workout to a giant run workout on the same day conservative in any way, but within that ambitious workout, you can be somewhat conservative. So that's what I will do. So I'll probably end up finishing, I'm thinking the final 3K in and around 11 miles an hour. So this treadmill is definitely true, if not a little hot, based on lactate and heart rate and stride pod data. But 11 is still good at this is about 7,000 feet where we're at right now. So 11 miles an hour I think is pretty good to finish off at.
What do you think of to motivate you?
Nothing. I didn't think about anything for about 90 minutes. I just enjoy it. I enjoy exercise. I enjoy pushing myself. not really motivating myself or anything. I'm just, I mean, obviously, I would like to do well. I got Kona, everything, all these PTO races. I would like to do well. I'd like to be competitive, but for the most part, the daily grind, I just enjoy exercising. And I can tell it's risky.
You can tell what's risky.
Doing a lot of like pushing the limits in and of itself is risky, right? Like at the end of the day, you can't win a race that you're not on the start line, right? And this has been happening and will continue to happen, especially as there becomes more money and the competition gets deeper and deeper, right? Guys are going to really have to push themselves to be competitive, right? Really far. Take risks in training. That's one thing to do that. But then to also do it in a place where recovery is undoubtedly impaired, then it's like a double risk, right? That's why I'm doing a lot on the trainer. That's why I'm doing a lot on the treadmill. I'm trying to mitigate as much risk as I can, but I know full well that I am taking risks right now. The problem is once one guy starts really pushing the limit, which I do believe Christian is very pushing the limit. Unfortunately, to even be in the ballpark, you're gonna have to push some limits. Like you can't just be conservative all the time. Now there's a time and a place for everything. And little doses of pushing the limit, I think, are okay. Pushing the limit every session or once a week or, you know what I mean, that kind of thing. Obviously, you're going to get injured. You're going to get a stress fracture. You're going to get overtrained, whatever. There's so many possibilities. The stress fracture seems to be a very common theme right now. And then obviously soft tissue damage is another thing that's popping up fairly frequently. And so what are you going to do, though? Unfortunately, if you want to win, if you want to just settle, it'd be one thing if I was just crazy talented and I didn't have to train that hard. But unfortunately, I'm not like super talented. I have to train really hard to be competitive. So that's why the treadmill's back in full force. The altitude thing, I mean, I don't want to push this too far, especially a first block. At the end of the day, the only thing I want to win, the only thing I even want to be competitive at this season is Kona. I don't care about anything else. The rest of it, that's just fun. I just like racing. If there's one I want to be competitive at again and be in the running for the win, it's Kona. So I don't want to get injured before then, so I'm not going to take this to the absolute limit. So I'm cool with, 10:20 for a 3K. I mean, that's like pedestrian pace, of course, you know what I mean? But at 7,100 feet, it's not nearly as pedestrian pace. And that was, 4.5 hours into training day after quite a hard bike. It's not really that pedestrian now, you know what I mean? I can tell you that a 110.5 off the bike at the Flagstaff 70.3, I mean, that's going to be pretty effing crazy, you know what I mean? If you're in the running with a hard bike. So, it's all these things have to be kept into perspective. Obviously, this first one, I'd like to make it out unscathed, and then I can build on this camp when I come back. So, all in all, it was a really good training day. We did take a few risks here. First time in a while we've taken a couple of risks, but it's all good, I think. Find out tomorrow when I wake up. And now we get 2 days, for the most part, recovery. And then really just left in this camp. One hard track workout, one hard upper end bike workout, and then one more race pace session like this one. And then we go down and we go put it to the test at Mont Tremblant 70.3.